Okay,
हाँ क्या
the
हुआ?
recording is fine.
The
We can
mic
start.
was
I started recording now. We can start the podcast.
Okay, everyone. Welcome to Apes Together Strong podcast. This is Chetan. We are having a guest tonight. It is Simran. He's from Delhi. He has some interesting tricks in his head that he wants to share related to politics and sort of things. And welcome, Simran. Thanks for joining.
Hey, thank you so much, Chetan, everyone, Radhika and Puneet. Thank you for having me on this podcast. This is also my first podcast. Speaking on a first podcast, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and I was interested in being part of myself in one. So I'm super excited to be here.
Good. You have been listening, you said. What are your favorite podcasts? And tell us about how you uh, found us.
That's also an interesting question. So, my favorite podcast is Joe Rogan. And the other one is there is another Indian guy. His name is Anurag minus Verma. He does some weird podcast. He invites some weird guests. And the third one is this guy, Beer Bicep one, Ranveer Alawadi. He also has some nice, decent guests. Yeah, these three ones are my favorite one.
Wow, really interesting lineup you follow.
Yeah, man. So I think, yeah, because so each one of them have different takeaways. The Joe Rogan one is like he completely says pretty random stuff, and he's I think the most popular podcast in the world. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, he is really popular. Like he gets a lot many listeners compared to what others might get,
Mm,
and he has that what do you call as the skin in the game. So
yeah,
he had been doing radio, stand up, and podcast is his latest venture. And after Spotify deal, I think he's really untouchable in podcast space.
yeah, definitely, man. That Spotify deal actually made a difference. So everyone needs to be on Spotify. Everyone needs to listen to a couple of Spotify ads. So that is one thing. On the Indian side, I think this Beer Bicep guy is also doing Ranveer is also doing a great job. He knows his target audience. It's around eight college goers and the people who are in early 20s and bring really nice guests and talks about pretty useful stuff. So that one is great, and maybe we can talk about that as well. Regarding how I found you is that so I have an alt account
Hmm.
on Facebook. So I mean I do get a bit frustrated from my simple 9 to 5 job, and so I have an alt account on Facebook on which I should post weird shit things.
Acha.
the shit
And I think sorry, yeah, go ahead.
the shit posting account.
Yeah, shit posting. And Radhika was as added on my Facebook account through Naveen, I guess. And I think both of us were part of this Punjabi meme group.
Jersey meme stash. Yeah.
And
Take the name.
I have been yeah. So Charsi Stash is also an interesting story. It was a meme Punjabi meme group started in I guess 2016 by some of random people from I guess I think in 2016 we had this meme group called PCM, Contagious Curry Memes. I forgot the name. Yes, and then from that, I mean, all of the Punjabi people they made their own meme group called Jersey Meme Stash, and then we posted some memes. And yeah, and then I created my own account, and from there I found Radhika, and I think Radhika and me. Think, so this is also interesting. I was commenting on Naveen's Twitter post, and I think Radhika had this another Twitter username with the DP of Khali, I guess. And then we had this weird
Yeah, I remember. And you thought I was a guy, and that's how we got added because I commented something funny on Naveen's we
Yeah, and we added each other, and then he, I think, changed the DP, and I think I saw the DP somewhere. So yeah, I DM'd her that. Oh, are you also added on my Facebook? I guess at the same
yeah,
time. And I think then we talked something about podcast, and she told me,
yeah.
and I was like,
Told you about the podcast, and I told you how Naveen has been a guest on this, and uh, you showed interest in being a guest, so I invited.
yeah, yeah, that was it. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. I want to try that. So yeah, that was it. How I found you guys.
Cool, cool. Really interesting story. It's really awesome to hear them because it really tells how people have been connected with social fabric on the internet.
If I ask you, how did you guys find each other? Are you from Twitter, Facebook, somewhere else?
Twitter only. So back in 2019, I made this memes group chat on Twitter with two other people, Shivam and Oliver. And actually, we used to share memes, tank memes, and we thought of making a group chat for that. And we were like, okay, let's add other people too. And that's when I tweeted something along the lines. Uh, like to be added in a GC, in a dank memes GC, and all of these people liked it, and that's how we grew closer. And especially in pandemic, we became good friends. Before that, we only used to share memes in those group chats. Actually, we have a bunch of different group chats, different stuff. Like for chatting, we have another group, and for uh, strictly for
Yeah,
dank, we
yeah.
have
So
another group.
over time, we grew it.
And we became good friends. And I started the server and this podcast, which was Snappy's dream. He wanted to start a podcast, basically host a podcast.
Mm, yeah, absolutely. This is how it works, I guess. First we start with memes, then we make some bonds, and then we move one step ahead.
Yeah.
Has been the same with my Facebook friends as well.
Yes, yes. That is really cool how it works, and like connect. Everyone likes to have the niche on this Facebook, Twitter, now Discord. We have been growing. Want to build, have a Spotify. Want to grow a YouTube. That is what our next kind of a roadmap is. That is what we are working to. So tell us more about Simran. What does he do?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we definitely grow. I think just be consistent. I have seen people just being consistent and growing. About me, I am, you know, born brought up in Delhi. Uh, then I finished my graduated as the other guy as an engineer, but I was not interested in.
Nice.
Yeah, but I was not interested in coding. So the placements happened. I got placed in the basic tech companies with the master person freelance. But I wasn't
Just to tell you that I'm also an engineer and working as a web developer.
Oh yeah, I think I listened to a couple of the podcasts and you mentioned. Are you working somewhere or for a company, or do you do freelance work?
Actually, freelance and also working to build a startup right now.
Oh, nice man. We can definitely talk about that. But let's not deviate. Let me just tell me about yourself.
Yeah,
So that,
continue.
yeah. So I joined first. Initially, I was giving some interviews about in some consulting companies. Then I joined a US-based company. It is a software company which sells expensive software to expensive schools in the world, all over the world. And I was their first Indian employee.
Wow, that was really a breakthrough.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so earlier I was like, ah, mate, let's see how it goes. Because when I graduated from college, I didn't even know what I need to do in my life, right? but I actually knew
Yeah, nobody knows
that.
then. Just
Yeah,
kind
man.
of goes with the flow.
Yeah, yeah, man. So I was actually figuring out. So I realized that let's just rather than uh, figuring out what I need to do, let's figure out what I don't need to do in life, right? And I knew that I cannot code. I mean, I can code, but this is not what I saw doing for the next 20 years of my life. But I am very good with interacting with people, building relationships, and all of that. So they hired me as account manager. So in software companies, we have who are SaaS companies, software as a service. There
Yes.
is a role as account manager. So my
Nice.
company, they had like around 100 accounts in India, and they were managing that from Taiwan, the head office in Asia. So they gave me that role. Then eventually, I
Wow.
expanded my work to our schools in Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and nearby some other countries. As I was the first person in India, and no one was in India, they actually called me up in Taiwan's capital, Taipei, for a month-long training. So that was also nice.
Whoa, that is really cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was really cool for me because, to be honest, I was never in my life had been away from my home because I did my college in Delhi only.
I understand. Must have been a journey.
So it was me alone outside Delhi for 30 days first time. On the top of that, a different country. On the top of that, a country which didn't even speak English. So yeah, that was a really interesting experience.
Really foreign, everything.
Yeah, man. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, that time was fun.
Yeah.
I was completely dependent on Google Translate, and yeah,
Oh,
so I was
that's how it worked.
yeah, man, yeah, completely dependent on because they, I think only the people who knew English worked in like nice white collar jobs. So even so in Taiwan they have 7-Eleven. So their employees they cannot speak English. They just understand the basic words, right? One, two, three, food, so like that, right? So I had to use Google Translate for everything. But I remember when I was in hotel, I asked them for a bottle of water. I typed that on Google Translate, and Google Translate is not 100% accurate in Chinese because they speak
Yeah, that
Chinese.
is the worst place to decide. You found out that the most,
So
like, the best thing you trusted
yes,
is not working for you.
yeah. So I typed in bring me one bottle of water because I was going to shopping somewhere outside my hotel, and I wanted one like pet bottle, the one which we have, the Bisleri one, right, the 20 rupee one.
Right, right, right.
And she kept me waiting for 10 minutes and brought out a copper jug of hot water, and I was like, what the fuck?
Okay, okay. There might be some management or something on their part. We can ignore that. Besides that, what was the fun things you did?
So what the first thing I think within a couple of days I realized that within my office as well, I mean everyone was busy because it was also my first job. I didn't know how to interact with those. And most of them were Chinese or white Caucasian. So I was on my own. But weird thing which you will realize if you travel to any country which does not speak English, is that if you're walking anywhere, maybe on a street, if you're on a busy street, which everyone is speaking and talking to each other, and if you're alone, you'll feel like you're completely alone on that street. You know why? Because whatever they're speaking, you don't understand anything, right?
Uh,
So that was pretty depressing, to be honest. So, but the nice thing was that what happened the next day, they have a subreddit. I mean, each city they have their own subreddit. So I'm pretty active on
yeah,
Reddit
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So if you're in Pune, they might have a meetup subreddit for Pune, right?
Yes, yes, I have it.
So similarly, they have one for Taipei, and I went there, and they wanted that okay, meeting bilingual meeting
Oh,
subreddit.
I see.
So I mentioned that this whole situation that I am from India, I speak English, but no one speaks Chinese. Let's meet up. I need some
So,
English speaker. And I, in fact, so someone replied with some username, exactly the same thing. She was also English, but she understood Chinese a bit because so yeah. So but I didn't know that before, right? And then we texted each other on Reddit, and then over there they use I guess Line. They don't use WhatsApp. We shared our Line usernames, and then I realized that that girl was Australian but from Chinese parents, so she understood a bit of Chinese. And then we met the next day only. She was also interning there in Taiwan. Yeah. Then we met for the next 27 days, I guess, because I met her on the third day or fourth day, I guess. We met regularly, and she made that my Taipei experience wonderful because she knew Chinese, so she could translate. And we actually went on a couple of treks in Taiwan only because I love treks, and I had to like beg him to be my companion. So yeah, that was fun. Yeah, awkward silence, I guess.
Well, both are both are busy, I guess, or having some connection issues. But I
Yeah,
agree with
so
your I agree
that
with
was
your
an
like
interesting story. I heard it all. Sorry, I couldn't reply on time.
I think I cannot hear Snapper's audio. I don't know why.
No, he's not speaking actually. So, do you wanna, Simran, do you wanna talk about your family background? Because you told me that your family migrated from Pakistan to India during partition, right?
Yeah, yeah. So my grandparents they migrated from Pakistan to India uh, when this partition happened. So
Yeah,
yeah, so
you wanna share some stories that your grandparents might have told you, some interesting tidbits.
so they told me one interesting thing that when the partition happened, so now this Indian government had this confusion how to allocate land. So
Yeah,
the Indian government had this thing that how much the amount of land you had in Pakistan, you get one fourth of that in India. So while people say that all the Punjabis from Pakistan they migrated to Delhi, there are other places in Haryana as well. A lot of Punjabis settled in. So
yes,
yeah, so
so yeah, continue, sorry.
they were allocated the land there, but my grandparents were I guess 10 or 12 years old, say, so they don't remember anything. But it's just that they had to bring in a lot of gold here because that was the only currency which was actually valid in those times. And there were a lot of lootings which took place. Was I am not very I did not I don't remember exactly what all that happened.
All right. And I don't know if you're familiar with this, but there's this Punjabi novelist, S.S. Punjara Beti, and in his autobiography, I forgot the name of the book, but there's very detailed accounts of people who migrated from, like, the experiences of people who migrated from Pakistan to India during partition. And I think it's a very interesting book, and shows light on the religious and political aspects, and also very personal his personal experiences and all the things him and his family had to go through um, during the migrations to refugee camps and then settling in Delhi and getting jobs and stuff.
So
So yeah,
yeah, I'll definitely have a look at that. I think one more is on a similar note is a Train to Pakistan by Khushwant Singh. That
yeah,
also touches
that
this. Yeah,
Punjab Bedi's book is really interesting. I think you should read it.
well, I'll read that. Yeah.
Nice. So we were talking about how uh, Simran's grandparents came to Delhi.
So my grandparents didn't come to Delhi exactly directly Delhi, but they were allocated some land in Haryana only. Haryana, they have a state in Haryana called Rohtak. Over there, they were
Oh,
allocated some land. And then my father came to Delhi for to start business and all of that. And then,
nice. So cool to getting to know you. What else have you been thinking?
yeah, I was just gonna ask you all about how has COVID situation been in your respective cities? How is situation and how is the public sentiment against your respective CM or the PM and all of that?
Yes, so honestly, I live in a small town and COVID situation isn't too bad here. Like we have only two active cases at the moment, and I don't know how my district, but in my town it's not too bad. Every time uh, there are any new active cases, they are rushed to hospital immediately. But I think that's also because people aren't getting tested. People are staying home, getting recovered. So that might be the reason why there are so less reported cases of COVID.
Okay, so talking about Pune in focus, you can see that the cases have just kind of gone out of hand, and oxygen beds are really scarce. You cannot find beds at all. Pune, at least, you have to wait for a few days, and the recovery rate has been surprising. Like people talk about that a lot. It has been growing steadily. I've been recovering, and most of the cases that have been shot up in the last 2 weeks have been mild and not really severe. So that is also helping, but always a shortage of ICU and oxygen. So our facilities have been really absolutely to the knees. What do you call neck cases? Hospitals are just overflowing. So if you look at what the politicians are saying about this, the CM has been working really good. I think. Well, of uh, not really pleased because he's not really able to control it completely. But yeah, people are not really sad, and some things have been working. You want to look at the remdesivir shortage? People are getting injections. That's been working fine. There is still shortage. You still have to wait for the injection, but not like you can find it. And it's not really blacked. You will get it at a standard price. So that is also in control.
Yeah, I mean, this is great that the the things that the medicine is not being blacked because over here in Delhi, situation is pretty bad in the terms of supply.
Yeah, yeah. It was really bad too. Like a week ago, you could ask for 50,000 and someone might just overpay and get the injection. It was really rough.
But I have read it from doctors that the injections which are the people are being desperate for are not actually required. Just that
Yeah,
if
if you talk to the doctors, they will recommend you something else, and if you want to avoid it, you can avoid it too. Just get off on paracetamol, have your rest, and keep your oxygen in control. That's it.
yeah, yeah. I
But
think
as this cases go severe, like if it goes really out of 70, 60 range, uh, having injection is really what you want because that is what works.
yeah. I think one traditional reason for Delhi was that no one was prepared for this. Thing.
Absolutely, like no one was prepared. You had 1 year and still couldn't make up pump that oxygen.
Yeah. So people are blaming Kejriwal that that he did not build hospitals. So, my response to them is that it takes 2 years to build one home. How quickly can Kejriwal build hospitals? Like within Delhi only, then
Yeah. That is really a challenge, and you have to kind of have that military level intelligence and what do you call acumen behind
yeah.
it. Like
Also,
you cannot have complete really 5-star hotel
yeah,
hospitals. You just have
yeah.
to make them work.
There's another. I mean, I'm not sure about if this is true or not. Another conspiracy theory or something like that going on is that when the center gave them the order to build more oxygen plants, right? The hospitals did not approve them. The reason is that if they would have approved them and the oxygen plants would have built up, the the vendors would have been gotten cancelled after the COVID era. So what is happening right now
Mm,
is that hospitals buy oxygen from vendors, right?
yeah.
Monthly
They are fixed
vendors.
vendors.
Yeah, yeah. And what uh, Delhi was trying to do is that, or maybe the government was trying to do is that create oxygen plants within Delhi itself, owned by the government, maybe, right? So it would be from government to government, no involvement of any vendor. But I think the hospitals or it did not get approved, maybe due to some lobby or something like that, right? And that is why a lot of vendors are also pushing for free oxygen at this time
Oh,
so that they take care of the temporary need of oxygen right now, maybe for the next
yeah,
few
yeah,
months,
yeah.
and they're able to earn profits post the COVID era. The thing it
Yeah, you
continues.
have to understand how this business works. Like you cannot just let go all your relations that you built with the doctors and the hospitals over the years. You have to kind of make this your thing.
Yeah, exactly. And right now, these vendors are not only just medical vendors. So there is one common vendor who also gives oxygen to hospitals as well as industries. So I think welding works also, other industries also
Yeah.
require some
There are
oxygen.
two types of kind of oxygen required. One is the gas ones, which is used by the hospitals, and the liquid ones are used by industries.
Yeah, so that is exactly the thing. So some vendors are common, and I think this is some lobby work which is going on. But I hope it works out fine. I'm not that worried about Delhi, but I'm actually worried about other tier two cities.
That's where main problems happen because okay, I heard this story on some YouTube video that okay, so here is some it's a story about a doctor, not a real doctor, but someone who had two PhDs. So we can consider him
Mhm.
a really good scientist. He worked in the US for some years. He got his master's and PhD there. Came back to India. He became a principal of a very good, what do you call, polytechnical, and Allahabad and somewhere in Ahmedabad. He worked at two places and he just went for Kanpur to build a school. Okay, this is what happened in 2020. He like around the pandemic, he was in Kanpur, and he was building a school. It was going okay. And what good went on is he got COVID, and as Kanpur didn't have enough facilities to support his serious case, he wasn't able to survive. So this, what do you call, an intellectual was lost because the tier two city didn't have enough resources to support him.
Yeah, exactly. This is the issue that Delhi has everything which is like the best in the country in terms of hospital, doctor, and all of that. Kanpur would not have the same quality of equipments, doctors, maybe transportation,
Yeah, many
which
parts
Delhi
of
has. Yeah,
what do you call Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, they have
yeah,
been really hit, and we have no idea how much cases are going, how much have been hidden.
yeah. That is exactly my point. That they do not have that infrastructure right now. It's just that Delhi is burning in the newspapers on the front line, but it is the best we have. Maybe Mumbai in the terms of hospital. Uh, but if you talk about population density or quality of doctors, people who would be vaccinated or would not have been vaccinated, then it would be a major impact if it spreads like wildfire in other
Yeah,
cities.
it is already spreading in wildfire. Like in my city, if you consider my locality, every building has at least few cases. Every building, go anywhere without finding a cases, and that's why we have a lockdown till May. So work from home has been fun.
Yeah, but I'm also worried about the other blue collar jobs like restaurant waiters or rickshaw walas and all of that. They would suffer
Yeah,
the
these
most.
are the next, what do you call, next in terms of facing the people. Like these are the next people stage that is going to break if the COVID gets worse.
Exactly, because they earn daily, right? I mean, a
Yeah,
daily laborer he earns like 300 to 400 bucks daily, and then he spends that buy something, right? And the
yeah,
last year
exactly.
has already been pretty bad for them. They don't have any savings. They moved back to their own places, villages, and all of that, right? Gaons.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of them, like which started their work in cities like Mumbai, have been going back once the lockdown was announced again.
Yeah, and I sincerely hope that all this brings some, enlightenment to the population. That there is some serious flaw in the government, and this actually needs to be changed.
Yeah,
So this is
everyone
what
has
I hope.
seen, everyone has seen how the last Mann Ki Baat, or what do you call, the public address that the Prime Minister did went, and everyone has kind of had this feeling for a while, and it's kind of, got
Yeah,
fact checked. They
exactly,
trusted in the wrong people.
exactly. But at the same time, if you talk about the numbers, the people who do not trust the government are still lesser than the people who think that they don't have any other alternative. So that is one big issue, right? Just before
Yeah,
elections,
yeah,
everyone believes that, or everyone is made to believe using propaganda and all of that, right? That we don't have much choice. This is the only one thing. And this is, I guess, I don't want to say that, but this might again bring Modi to or BJP to power again in 2024 as well.
yeah. Looking ahead at elections, you have Kerala will start in May, so they have been working hard, and I think they also are going to get their seat
I didn't,
in Kerala.
I didn't think that right now they are ready for Kerala. It's full on socialist state that I think are actually anti Modi.
Yeah, it has been anti-Modi for a while, and but people were also anti-Modi in Bengal, but you see what happened there.
Let's see. I think now because of this all fiasco, they might still vote for Mamata. But again, these are state elections. Lok Sabha elections are a
They still
different
count.
ballgame. Yeah, they do count. They do count in the terms of work and all of that. But at the time of in Lok Sabha elections, it's completely different thing in the terms of seat number and all of that.
Yes. COVID has going to become a really good, what do you call, um, asset in the election, every state and national elections we have.
But the fact that people are still not blaming Modi or BJP for what's happening in the country is really disturbing. These people are still gonna vote for Modi even if like their own family members die. वगैरह उसको
Yeah,
die. Sorry.
strictly out of options, I think.
Yeah, A, because they don't have any option, and B, I think they this is how we are copying the Western ideology of bipartisan election and polarization, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Then earlier, what used to happen is that now जो काम करेगा मैं उसको दूंगा. This was A. B was जो मेरी caste है मैं उसको दूंगा. This was B thing. C was जो मुझे पैसे खिलाएगा मैं उसको दूंगा, right? Now एक और नई चीज आ गई है. That is people are getting emotionally attached to their political inclination, right? If in the, you can type in, you can give 100 reply as 100-page thesis to underneath a duct that how, I mean, shortcomings of Modi, how Modi is bad, or maybe how we should not vote Modi. Not understand that, right?
True.
It's like having being in love with a toxic person. This is how I see that. Right? A lot of my friends do that as well. I we used to debate a lot in WhatsApp chats groups and all of that. I still do that. I mean, although I don't want to, but I know at part of my heart or maybe brain and part of my brain that it won't change anything. So it's actually fruitless. Just it's like hitting my head over a wall. So
Okay. So that's nice to hear that you have been kind of keeping up with the realities of the nation.
yeah, and in fact, this is actually the same with to other side as well. I don't think that the other side also I mean is not completely rational. They also have they are also emotionally attached. You see some random blue haired girl like romanticizing Rahul Gandhi. That I also think is pretty stupid, right? I also think that he is also a product of nepotism in politics. I also don't agree with his policies. Yeah. So, for example, if you try to explain something about maybe Kashmir issue, that why 370 was correct, this is my personal opinion to any liberal, I mean, or explain them that Kashmir is actually a part of India. They won't believe you. You just put them all the facts and all of that. They won't believe you, or they won't even try to have a nice discussion with you. They have their opinions, and that is just what they believe, right? Uh,
Yeah, and having opinions is just fine. You have your space. Is what
I
you
think that's the case with all the lobbies. They all do this romanticization thing.
exactly, and this is where the echo chambers. This is an online term that's being
Yeah, yeah.
start, been starting to use. That echo chambers have been formed. That people start giving each other ego massages. That let's all sit together, four of us. Let's bash Modi, right? We also love doing this, right? Let's bash BJP supporters, right?
Yeah.
Let's make some meme, and all four of us will understand. Let's do that. So, or maybe I'll post a tweet and I'll wait for them for you all to acknowledge me, right? This is all I need from social media. You all acknowledge me. I feel that okay, my views are
yeah.
accepted in the societies. My views are correct. This is how the world works. Exactly, this is how the world works. I'll be within my own wall of echo chambers. This is the same with these far left Indian leftists, wherein they talk extensively about how all Hindus are bad, how Hinduism is bad. This is the same with far, or maybe I won't call it right again because it's not exactly the same as Western politics, but it would be like that we should kick out Muslims from India, and they start giving each other reasons, and then they start appropriating those reasons, right? And they feel comfortable within those walls. This is how that is working
Yeah,
now.
also part of it. I disagree with you without having a fight. Now it has become a really kind of a snowball action on the internet.
Yeah, exactly. And this is how they are actually capitalizing on us. For example, if on YouTube, if you see 2 or 3 consecutive videos which bash Modi, algorithm would show you the fourth one as the same, right? And you start consuming the content because you like the content. It acknowledges, it appropriates your viewpoints, right? It gives you even a such that, okay, what I am seeing is actually correct. My beliefs are correct. My friends' beliefs are wrong, right? And indirectly, what you're doing is that you're consuming more advertisements, right? And you just go down deep to that rabbit hole of uh, that how BJP is bad, how Modi is bad, how everything is bad. All that related to that is bad, right?
Yeah,
On the other hand, on the also, on the other hand, sorry, let me complete this in a minute. On the other
go
hand,
on.
if you're a duck, you have your own set of channels, right, made for you. You go on to that rabbit hole after 15 minutes, after 1 hour of YouTube watching at 3 a.m., you'll find one video, finally land up with one video that how every Muslim should be kicked out of from India, how India is meant to be a Hindu state, right? Again, YouTube is giving you that appropriation rather than your friends, and you you indirectly consume those content. But the negative part about this is that it actually creates some blank spots in your ideology because you don't understand the other part. That is the major problem which I'm seeing in every early 20s kid, or maybe a
Yeah,
young kid right now.
yeah, that has been growing.
Because I think that if you let's say if both of us are debating that okay, I like pizza and you like pasta, I should also know why do you like pasta. That should be one of the thing which I should ideally know, right? Because and it's not that if you like pasta, you are a bad person, right? This is what needs to be understood, right? People are giving each other right now. I see these tweets of these liberals. They are giving that every BJP supporter should die because of COVID, right? You cannot just wish death upon someone because just because they support BJP. And a lot of their friends also support BJP, and they're just being I know that you're frustrated, but this is how not it works, right? It's it's not like a Twitter is not like a battle.
But it becomes often, and that is what 21st century or 2021 has offered to a what do you call it, in a developing nation, facilitated often free data of access of making an account, getting a number, getting verified, being able to bribe, getting what you want, throwing away ads so you get more traction.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people they spread some misinformation as well in this whole given this echo chambers, right? Let's say within one echo chamber, someone posted 3 facts and one of an assumption, right? And that gets retweeted. and people assume that this specific thing is correct, right? So, and this is how misinformation or maybe propaganda spreads, which in turns, like if you just think about it, right now, whatever is going on, this ideological warfare, that would be a pretty tacky word for that. But right now, all of this is going on Twitter only, right? But this shit happens when this all takes place outside Twitter in the terms of physical violence, right? Someone posts a
Yeah,
meme,
it obviously has to manifest somewhere.
and this actually results in the country being polarized. You won't believe now people do not talk about, try not to bring in politics in workspace, at workspace, because they're just afraid that, okay, what if my boss is actually a BJP supporter, right? They just try not to bring in politics. This is what I have been noticing. People are India trying to avoid politics, speak about politics in public spaces.
Yeah, yeah. Because you don't know what the other person might be, which party they might be supporting. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's not just about party. It's about that people have
ideology.
their emotional connection or emotional uh, allegiance to those parties or to those ideologies, and they are growing pretty strong because of this whole feedback loop of social media or YouTube. Right? You eventually notice that a BJP supporter would organically grow as more as a what's that word, as a as a as a very staunch BJP supporter gradually, and it happens vice versa as well. But if these people they go out of their way and actually understand the other part as well, they might be might become some rational thinkers, and they might understand that, okay, now I know why some people support BJP, right?
I think that can be said for all the extremists, those who like you said, romanticize and um, are emotionally attached to some party or ideology or narrative. I think this applies to all of them. That if they start interacting with people from other people who have different narratives from them, if they start interacting with them, they might just um, have better understanding of what's going on and about the facts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and some at some point in any Twitter argument or any argument on social media, you will find that facts don't really matter. People are going to say what they believe in, and it won't stop. It's like a doomer situation suddenly.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. That they do not matter, and I have realized that I would rather spend my time reading nice informative thread to people who focus on facts or analyzing things rather than three people bashing each other why they are incorrect.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 go. Okay.
Hmm. And
So,
also, people tend to give a lot of time and attention to things which are not going to use their critical thinking skills, and that is not good in the long run.
yeah, absolutely. I cannot agree more on that. And it also makes them, it also affects their mental health as well, right? Because
Yeah, yeah,
while you're on a debate,
absolutely.
you don't know the other person, you just know their Twitter username or maybe Facebook username. They can type in anything, and it might affect your mental health next 6 hours or maybe next 2 days, right? It's actually amazing how social media is giving people this whole venue to just type in whatever they want,
Yeah,
right?
like you kind of suppose you if you don't have YouTube, don't have Twitter, you might actually have to call someone or walk to someone or meet them. You kind of set boundaries like, yeah, next 2 hours I'm going to be with you. We might have a good conversation, and if we're not, then we are going home back.
Yeah,
But giving this
yeah. People
situation,
and people don't do that when they meet in person, right? I can give you a very simple example. Compare a verbal fight you have with one of your nice friends when you're going to person on phone on the way in person versus on text, right? can can those words hit you like the one to do when they type in while they're carefully checking how I want them to hurt the most, right? And I've seen that a lot of people when they meet in
yes,
person, they're pretty polite with each other, and when you meet someone in person, you also try to find an
yeah. You have a face to
yeah,
face when you are there.
yeah. As humans, we have this tendency when we are in person or in the call, we have tendency to find the things on which we are on the same page of, right? Rather than just simply
And
fighting with each other.
yeah, and this is how any social media kind of dehumanizes your other peers. Like, you don't see a face when they're speaking, you just see their words.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And you don't know the tone. You don't know if they had a bad day, right? And they can just
And that's
say
why
whatever.
a podcast like this helps people connect of different ideas.
Definitely. And I think I also took a 1 month vacation from social media, I guess last month. And I think it helped me a lot. I the only I used some Facebook, I guess, or maybe Twitter, but though I use only everything from my Google Chrome browser, so I have to log in, log out every time, and I didn't receive any
Hmm.
notifications. That was pretty helpful for me.
Okay, so how did the detox go? What did you plan?
Yeah, so I was actually read this book. Forgot the name. Digital Minimalism. I forgot the book's name. Uh, but I'll tell you that it's taking a digital detox for some time, and yeah. So I'm also a productivity junkie. So I try to use different softwares, different things just to make sure myself that I'm more productive, right? Trying new things.
Cool,
So,
cool, cool.
I did this digital detox, and I focused my time on reading some of these audiobooks, books, and watching some random TV series like that.
Yeah. So you
But
kind of charted all your schedule down to, yeah, avoiding social media.
yeah, and I realized that we spend a lot of time on social media and a lot of clicks, and you feel that your brain remains a bit empty, vacant when you are off social media, right? So
Hmm.
this is what I realized, and definitely recommend all of you to at least try one detox for at least maybe 7 days. See how
So
it looks like.
sometimes it's just not possible for you to leave. You can just, set a time like 2 hours a day, and that is all I will have.
That I tried doing that, but that never became in practicality for me. Maybe 1 day, 2 days, but
It takes a lot of self control to do that.
I
yeah,
can tell you it is
Deac-
possible.
Deactivating your accounts is the best way to go away from social media. The social media detox. But
yeah,
that thing doesn't work.
yeah. So you have to understand that I think this is something which there's this book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. He also explains that if you're trying to remove any bad habit, try to replace it with anything any good habit you want, right? So
Yes.
if you are, let's say I am a pretty weird phone user. I use my smartphone a lot, right? Which I'm using it 12 hours a day. Let's assume that, right? And I'm trying to cut it short by 2 hours. So there are 10 hours which I need to use somewhere else, right? And then you have to decide that on what would you do in those 10 hours, right? And then you also have to decide that that 10 hours should also bring you some pleasure or maybe some dopamine in some sense. Because in technicality, social media likes and retweets, posts, all of that is bringing you something. So I tried,
That sweet dopamine.
yeah, exactly. And I tried replacing that with YouTube. I mean, I would confess that I didn't do something productive when I removed my social media. But in short, I felt a bit relaxed, and my I also have some anxiety issues. So my anxiety was like extremely low. I was off social media.
Nice. So it kind of just in some way did give you make you more productive, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yes. Yep. Yep.
So it worked. That is nice to hear that. So you were talking you were a productivity junkie. What do you mean by that?
By this I mean that I try to find new ways how on new tools using which one can be more productive in their work, in these studies. So, uh, for example, this one tool, if I ask you, do you use tools for your productivity? If I ask you first, any to-do list, note-making app, timers, smartphone blockers, and all of that, if I ask you?
Yeah, okay. So I do use Notepad to write stuff down, and it also is a what do you call? I have a, a document open on my desktop always to type stuff down. So that is that.
I have a to-do list, but I don't follow that.
Yeah, no one does, no, right? But one should try to, right? So
Yes.
I
Yeah,
also,
me too.
what I mean productivity junkie is that I use these tools and I try to make these tools better in the terms of my users are just replacing them with better tools, right? So I use a to-do list with different priorities.
Cool, cool.
So I, there is this workflow called GTD, Get Things Done, in which
Mm-hmm.
uh, there is this how you can prioritize your if all of your to dos, and I also have a Notion. I use a software called Notion or a web service called Notion. It's an app as well, so you can search that. It acts like a second brain for you because whatever whatever random thoughts you have, you just dump that over the Notion, which you're already doing, right? In your own documents and all of that. So I try to use that. For example, while let's say we're having this podcast, right? I remember that okay, man, I need at maybe 1 a.m. I need to call my friend, right? So rather than just keeping that in back of my mind, I just simply dump that on my to-do list and forget that and add a timer for 1 a.m. right? And my to-do list it recognizes that text. So if I write that call Prakhar space 1 a.m. it recognizes that text and gives me one email or maybe reminder at 1 a.m. that I need to call him.
Cool. That is interesting. So you find ways to get stuff done, and how was that going for you?
Yeah, I mean it's going good. Like when I start my workflow, I just sit in for like the first 15 minutes, dump everything on my to-do list, whatever I have in my mind. Right, this is my first step, and prioritize all the tasks. So the to-do list software which I use is called TickTick. So it syncs between my phone Android and my Mac, so my laptop. Right, it sits on the toolbar of my MacBook. So I dump all the to-dos over there, adding different priorities to them. So alongside each to-do, it also has Pomodoro. I'm not sure if you have heard about Pomodoro or not.
Nope, nope.
So
Just kind of tell us about it.
yeah, Pomodoro is an interesting thing. So Pomodoro actually means tomato, I guess in Spanish, like that, right? So it's actually a timer for 25 minutes. So many people believe people like me have very short attention span. And I'm sure in social media generation you also have very short attention span, right? So it works.
Yeah, For all kinds of good stuff, we have short and span. But if I have to binge a series, I will do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, yeah, for work or for
My
sitting for a
attention,
chapter.
my attention span is so bad I can't even watch like binge series. I watch movies like I finish them in 2 to 3 sittings. The movies. तो सीरीज का तो क्या ही हाल हो.
Exactly. In the same boat as Radhika is, that I also have very short attention span, right? So now Pomodoro is actually a 25-minute timer with a 5-minute break. So I link each of my tasks. So let's say my first task is that clear my inbox, whatever the emails I had. So let's say I start my work tomorrow. I would have some emails in the weekend. So my first task would be clear the inbox, and I'll attach one Pomodoro to it, or maybe two, or that I can change, right? So I'll start that timer, and in those 25 minutes, I am not allowed to use or go anywhere else apart from that, doing that specific task. That is clear my emails, right? If one of my colleagues messages me something and all of that, I'll just again add that back to my to-do list. So that is one major condition which I need to follow. And after that, I have 5 minutes of break. I can maybe get up from my desk, stretch a bit, do anything, maybe scroll social media and all of that, and then start again a Pomodoro, right? And after, I guess, 3 Pomodoros or 4 Pomodoros, you have a 15 or 1 hour break. So that depends on how you want to do that, right? It's just making sure that you sit your ass down for 25 minutes and just focus on one task, one book, one chapter, whatever you do, right? And then maybe have another 25 minutes after 5 minutes of break.
Very interesting. That is a good technique to kind of get your stuff done and not miss on your deadlines at the same time.
Yeah, man, I 100% recommend you install TikTok or read about Pomodoro. A lot of hundreds of apps on Android or your phone for that on Pomodoro. It's pretty popular.
Cool, cool.
Another app or another thing for productivity which I use is not actually a productivity app, but is meditation, Headspace. So
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
I've heard
I've
of it.
tried that.
yeah, so I think that is also pretty useful for you if you're sitting. So before I start my day, again I have this. So there is this podcaster. I forgot her name. I'm pretty bad at forgetting names. So he has a morning schedule, right? So but I'll tell you how it works. So if you have read Atomic Habits by James Clear, he, he says that if you want to maintain some good habits, you need to batch them up. By batch them up, I mean that you need to uh, stack them up one after each other, right? So let's say when you want to go to gym and then you want to shower and then you want to maybe read a book, right? Stack 3 of them together so that your body automatically knows, or you don't have to decide when to do that, which habit, right? So I start my day, get up in the morning. He has like 5 steps which you need to do every day to start your morning, and all these things are connected to each other. So the first one is that get up and then make your bed. Second, this is like the first step, or the second, whatever. And then while you have made your bed, like do 10 push-ups so that your body is actually waking up. Not two proper exercise, maybe 20 or 10 push-ups. And then just after that, do 10 minutes of meditation. Okay. So this helps me a lot. When I'm done with my meditation, then take a quick shower. So with 5 things, you are like good to go, start your day. And it actually takes only the 45 minutes. And you have taken a shower, you have meditated, you've actually done some physical activities, so not like in your sleep. And then after that, you also tell us how to have some tea and all of that, right? So yeah, this has been extremely productive for
Interesting,
me.
interesting. Yes, having a routine kind of helps you build yourself. It also teaches a lot about yourself. Good to have.
Yeah, his name is Tim Ferriss. If you want to look it up afterwards, he also is also a famous
Yes.
podcaster.
He talks about all kinds of things. Like famously he wrote a book on what is called as VR Work Week, I think,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
was a great hit. Talked about how can optimize their workflow, get the stuff done without wasting time.
yeah, man. I think he has now added another book which talks about a couple of other things, how to hack human body and all of that.
Yes, yes. The organizations kind of just they're reaching for you in some way or another, phone or
Yeah, man.
lifestyle. Yes, and somehow in this, our common monkey has been lost. I hope this podcast kind of serves to get this shit together.
Yeah,
Interesting. Uh, so politics have been not really on my head last week. Just uh, bad news. Trying to app that I've been for the last year.
oh, nice. So what are you building? Is that something which you have your own app, or are you like doing contract work or freelancing work for someone else?
Uh, yeah, it's an app for like it is an open source project for uh, resource management or focused on daily resource management. They
Oh,
have
nice.
cows, they have buffalo, they have all sorts of machines they have to log, and data has to be accounted for because they have to sell that.
Oh, nice, nice, interesting. So it's your own. Okay, so it's an open source project which you're building. And so are you a I mean, have you graduated already from college, or are you in college right now?
I passed on 2020 January, but yeah, I've been working on this since yeah 2019 or 18.
Oh, nice, man. Nice. Good to hear that. I'm also right now interested in moving away from account management. That is more of a customer success and sales work to product
Oh,
management,
okay. So you're
building
heading a
product.
project or product, right?
Yeah, right now I'm in my company as well. I'm taking some additional responsibilities
That's good. That's good.
for a product, working with developers.
Cool. Talking about product, we there are really nice uh varieties which have been uh I've been listening to in the spaces because spaces is really a feature to open up to new people and they have been really welcoming to new product managers. Like there's one guy I was listening to the other day called as James Wong. Uh I don't know if you know him, but he's working at Stripe, I think.
Okay, I don't know him, and I didn't also know about product management. I just this is something which has started. This interest started a month ago. So I have been exploring it.
Yeah, so Twitter has a lot of people, and kind of it will be good for you to look them up easily.
Yeah, definitely. I'll look them up and try to get in my foot and learn something from them. Definitely.
Exactly, exactly. That is what fellow ape can expect from others.
Yeah, yeah.
It's about building communities like these, like having people to join in and share their experiences is really fun, and people connect, and relationships grow. It's important to have that.
Exactly, exactly. And this is how people work, and eventually realize that you are better friends with someone who you haven't actually met in real life than with your friends who
Yeah,
you
yeah,
hang out with daily.
Yes, and you know, you are kind of always connected to someone. It is also kind of your responsibility to, when you have a power of social media, to exploit it to its maximum.
Yeah, definitely. But it is sometimes weird when because in these Indian spaces you have a lot of guys and the proportion of the girls or the ladies are a lot less. So we also have this new theory of having a lot of sims. That thing is that what we call it, sims, or a lot of sims for the eagles. We call it eagle. I'm so sorry, I don't know a lot about these words, but I know how it works. So we also have this now phenomenon of having a lot of sims in Indian social media space.
Yeah, I know. Even like our group chat has only 3 or 4 girls maybe, and it's just boys. But they're not simps, and we're not e-girls. But I think you find better friends online, like the people you're more comfortable and compatible with than in real life.
Yeah, actually, because this is because of a couple of things. First is that you connect each other or met each other because of some common interests, right? So
Yeah,
you have something to talk about which you are actually interested in. But on the other hand, in your friends, you are connected to them because maybe your childhood friends, because you met each
yes,
other like 20 years ago, so you have to be that friend. Or maybe if you talk about class friends, so you were in the same class, right? So the modes of connection were not
shared
voluntary
interests.
but involuntary. Yeah, they
Yeah,
were involuntary interests, right? But in online communities, you can. I mean, if I like Game of Thrones, I can match with. I can talk about someone who's a big Game of Thrones fan. Maybe I can simply go to the Game of Thrones subreddit, maybe their Discord. We find
exactly.
someone from online. So yeah, this is what I definitely like about. And then you have the opportunity to be yourself. Sometimes you have alt ID, so you can share a lot of personal things while not sharing a
Exactly.
lot of personal things.
Yeah, that's the best thing about internet, that you can share your personal life with while being anonymous.
Yeah, and you have this like. So I'll give you my example how I use it most of the times. So I just come on Facebook and I just blurt out what is on my mind, right? It can be funny, it cannot be funny, right? Most of the time it
It
comes
can
on to
be
be funny.
sad. Yeah,
Yeah, it can be sad as well. And I think some of the times I post really sad shit and I have people reaching out to me in DMs. I'm really concerned about them, like not just for the sake of it, right? The difference
yes,
in real world is that uh, someone would reach out to you just for the sake of it, just because they are friends, so they have to do that for the sake of it, right? But in online, you don't have the obligation to message me, help me, right? But you still do so because of those, because you feel for that person. I mean, you care about that, right? Then I have
yes.
seen that, and I do really appreciate that. I
Hmm.
think that that is nice.
That happens a lot. Like online, people kind of connect with sorrow and anger as well, like really easily on the social media.
Yeah, because you are sharing a lot of your trauma, personal details, but at the same time not sharing the specifics. So yeah, you know what I mean. That if you
Exactly,
if
exactly.
you if you share if you share your maybe something which you're sad about your ex girlfriend, your real life friend, you would have to tell the name of the ex girlfriend. Maybe the ex girlfriend, some friends know your friend, so you have to filter some things out, right? Also get scared about that. इसको पता लग गया तो क्या होगा? इसको पता लग गया तो क्या होगा? On online, you can just be yourself. You can say whatever you want, no consequences. That is something which I
Yeah.
think it's very great.
Consequences are just that someone might accidentally save your password in a blank sheet accidentally at some company, and accidentally someone might be reading them without you knowing that.
Yeah, I mean that is something, you know what, exceptional.
You
But
accept
yeah,
it when you create an account, any social media, any platform. You accept that, yeah, I am willing to kind of risk thing on me.
yeah, but
Literally
I
snoop.
have been very careful on not sharing names and specifics, because I think I need to take care of that. That although I have my alt accounts, people can find my main account and then maybe my LinkedIn and all of that, my personal details through that. So I have to still be very careful. So yeah, I try my best not to share specifics. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
but you don't know that FBI might be just curious that day, and or the organization just we can find out top of this
Yeah.
something
Also,
like that.
I was also curious about this thing. I'm not sure how do you, if this has something you know happened. I you guys have been like together for maybe a couple of years now. Has anyone of
Yeah.
you all have done any like long distance or like this virtual community dating as well? Have you heard of something? How has this thing? If you have heard something like that,
Obviously, have heard of it in some capacity.
so how has it been? Maybe, I don't want to know the exact name. I don't even know them. Just because that just I'm just curious that how it happens and how it works. I mean, if you are aware of that, me like this.
Okay, it works. I don't know how it exactly works for someone, but I have read some threads on that. Like people, uh, like I said, people have been lonely before pandemic, so consider pandemic as being the last resort. Like they want company where they can find.
Yeah. So how long does these online relationships work? If you have heard of any these, like someone
Uh,
from Delhi dating someone from Mumbai, something like that.
I don't know how long it might work for someone because again, people once they find out you're speaking your truth, or if you're trying to fool them, you know how it works. People will leave you. Yeah, whatever you're doing. You have to kind of do the thing that you uh like to do instead of make up become a clown or something. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know
This
how long it might go for someone, but if they're trying, uh, it can get become a real thing. And we hear that hashtag a lot. That what we met on Twitter. I think
Yeah,
there is some hope for people if they are interested in that capacity.
people have gotten married after meeting online. So you don't know if it will work for you or not. It may or it may not.
yeah, I think Radhika still has some hopes for her, yeah, after
I
that,
have
right?
no hope. No, I'm just stating the fact.
Yeah, hopes is kind of a weird thing. You don't know sometimes until it happens, and tell you all sorts of stories after 2 years how it happened.
Yeah. And what's your so sorry to divert. What is your take on right now? This is one thing which is like being very pop. What's your take on spirituality? And do you believe in God and all of that and spirituality stuff?
I do.
Yeah, this has been a really kind of a topic in all of our podcasts. First few ones, that is what we directly into philosophy, other stuff.
I think I
Just
believe in all things mysterious. I love mystic things and spirituality and God and ghosts.
so, do you also believe that in tagging this to spirituality? Do you also believe that everything has a reason, or do you just believe in randomness?
I think everything happens because of a reason and the concept of divine timing. I do believe in that, but sometimes, obviously, I'm a human and I do get diverted from that. My brain gets diverted from that, but I try to stay on, like believe in God and the divine timing of God, all of that stuff, because these things give you hope for the future.
Yeah, yeah, and same thing. That is what works for me. Is I tend to believe when it's working, and lose it when it's not.
But don't you think that I'm not sure if you have heard of that philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche, his nihilism theory that nothing makes sense, God is dead.
Of course, of
In
course.
this COVID times, doesn't that make sense right now? That if God has been present, why would so many people die?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all of that.
You can become an ultimate doomer and just blame everyone for everything and just live on with your life without telling anyone how miserable you are.
I mean, it's not about blaming anyone. It's just that I personally think that my take on spirituality is that I think there is one God. I mean, I don't know what that is. There are no miracles and specific things. All of what we heard are stories just to give us hope. All of these stories remind our Mahabharata, Vedas, and all of that, right? I personally think that nothing makes sense. Everything is random. I can simply right now on the podcast jump down from a balcony and kill myself in front of a truck, right? And I would be dead in like 1 second. Uh, but there are things which give us hope, and because of only hope that we live, we wake up the next day and do something. If one believes hope, then
Yes.
you can get
Yeah.
that boomer mentality, right?
So this thing you talked about, the randomness thing, it's called free will and spirituality. That's what I've heard. Uh, so everything is like it's famous in Hinduism that um, everything is fixed. Whatever future events are going to happen, they are already written in the stars and things, you know. But there's this thing called free will. If you want to change the future outcomes and events, you can. This is a thing in spirituality.
Yeah, exactly. Again, I'm not sure this is related to spirituality or not. It's just that your life is just based on your decisions, how you want to take it, right?
Yes.
So if I take the decision of just jumping down from the balcony, I kill myself. If I take my next decision to just maybe read about something, do some XYZ, my next second is different. My then next again another second is different. So and it's just that you
Hmm.
are
And
your youngest right now.
yes.
Yes, that
And there is also a kind of a scientific basis for it, which I think heads up in parallel universes theory. How everyone is parallelly every outcome they're thinking at the same time, some universe.
I think that is also one thing which humans might have invented, that what if, right? People do think a lot. I had a breakup in class 12th. What if I didn't break up at that time? How my life would be different? There are a lot of what ifs, and then they start imagining what their life would have been, right? thinking about the past, what has
Hmm.
been done. They keep on imagining that, right?
I see. Simran has been a player since high school days.
No, I'm just giving one example. Maybe it could have been anything. A lot of kids, lot of people of our age, they think that what if I could have scored more in class 12? What if I could have studied some past regrets?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they have to kind of be able to sometimes be upfront with it and face it and bolo usko, go away.
Yeah,
I have moved on.
yeah. So yeah, exactly. But this is not just linked about those regrets. It's about thinking about your past, overthinking about your past, but not acknowledging that it doesn't make any difference, right? As I said, that you're youngest right now. I can think as much as I want about my past, but or maybe battle self about my decision. But it is what it is right now in front of me, right? What I choose,
Mm.
what my decisions are.
Yes, and exactly how you follow through depends how much you are willing to take up. That is how you have to kind of have a why about this life.
Yeah, and one more thing is that so this whole concept of that everyone has a purpose is like building a lot of snowflakes in our society. I mean, sorry if I'm being a bit rude, but do you know all what snowflake means?
Yeah.
I think I have an idea.
Yeah, so I'll explain
Sure,
that. So
boy.
snowflake is some yeah, kind of yeah, right, like partially correct. But snowflakes are like for people who are pretty sensitive and they think that world should they have been pampered when once they were in most cases they would have been pampered when they were brought up by their parents or maybe someone else in the society as well, and they think that they have a special purpose in life, right? which which gives them a weird sense of ego that they're destined for something special. And a lot of people, the West, they bring this Western bringing up a new Western ideology as being like uh, bringing up kids, making them feel that they're destined to be special. They're very special. Every kid is unique. They're destined to be someone
Having a
special,
sense of
right?
entitlement.
Exactly, entitlement, right? And then when they step out of maybe middle school, high school, college, they realize that world is not as cozy or as pampered as their parents or their school gave them, making them snowflake. And then they realize and then they're struck. What the fuck happened, right? You don't get just anything just by thinking that you're special, right? You have to work hard or maybe do something for yourself, build yourself up, right?
Yeah, yeah, and that is where kind of you try to become or find your meaning and stuff you do.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say, for example, I just say that, okay, uh, within if you wake up one day and you think that I am destined to be the next Joe Rogan or maybe next Pure Vessels podcaster. Everyone should respect me, right? But you don't do something for that. You just think that, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
You
had
don't
that phase. I
you,
had that
you,
phase,
you,
believe me.
you leave your software development web development job and all of that, right? And you start focusing on just listening to podcast, maybe inviting some people, just doing that, right? What you're doing right now, and then you start thinking that the world owes to you, that you are putting in your 100%, but nothing is happening. And then you start blaming the world that I am doing what I can, but I'm still not Joe Rogan, right? But my high school teacher told me that you could be the next Joe Rogan, you could be anything you want, right? And this is how the reality is starting hitting these kids, these early 20s kids like us. And this is not something which they are able to digest, which is leading to a lot of mental health issues as well. I have seen a couple of friends going through that right now.
Yeah, Uh, it kind of uh, grew up uh, on me in some way because my parents too wanted everyone to know that I was doing good at school. I was getting in, top three in my class or something. But that really didn't happen after 12 because I really scored bad in my JE and things didn't work out. And it was quite a shocker.
Yeah, man, it's like the story of like every other kid. Every. I mean, I also exactly the same for me.
Yeah,
I
so I took time to understand that, yeah, I have these what I can do. This was the best for me. And how you roll it, you
yeah.
think about.
And one another thing we have is that we're like shamelessly copying the Western culture. And this someone being special or snowflake is actually derived from the West, right? Where everyone has their own social security. Okay? If a 17-year-old wants to be a YouTuber, he can like be a full-time YouTuber, try to be a full-time YouTuber, do some McDonald's job, try it for 3 4 years. If it doesn't work well, he can go back to maybe university and give it another shot in their life, right? They can live alone in rent and just live by the working at McDonald's on hourly wages. But can this be possible in India, where like most of us are like middle class or upper middle class, and eventually would have some responsibility? Can we really work at McDonald's supporting our YouTube dream if we just if we don't think about if we don't if not practical about that? So this is something which a lot of people I,
Yeah,
this whole
yeah. And if you want to really want to compare India to other places, it's not really easy in India. Fall into debt, like if
exactly
you're a
exactly
low, like just a low middle class, or just a middle class Indian, which is kind of the major population in India, they won't ever fall in a huge debt. But it's really easy in Western countries to just
exactly.
as you grow out of high school, you fall debt in college, get debt of all sorts of cars, your house, anything you have to just starting with a credit card.
But
Economy just takes you in.
again, but they are able to pay that. It's whole their whole engine works like that, right? And a lot of other things as well. For example, they have their own social security, healthcare is supported by the government. In cases like these, let's say you are a full-time YouTuber in US or maybe in Canada, versus if you're a full-time YouTuber in India, right? And you don't have any savings in your account, right? And this, God forbid, this COVID situation happens and you have to go to hospital. In the West, you would be supported. You have your own insurance and your healthcare. In 90% of the time, you will be supported by the state. You don't have to worry about healthcare, rainy day funds, and all of that, right? In India, you cannot do that. You cannot simply do that.
Yeah. In some way, their infrastructure has kind of, you can say that, taken a lead, and people will uh, not likely lose the life.
It's
But
just that they have a backup nest, something to fall back to every
yeah,
time,
exactly.
which I think everyone should follow their dreams, definitely, but should also have something to fall back to. If you're a rich kid, rich parents kid, definitely do that. If your parents are, getting hard to like afford your education, first just think about them, supporting yourself in these times,
Yeah, yeah,
and then think about these your dreams. Like this is my personal take. Can be a bit
yeah.
pessimistic, but this is what I think.
Not really pessimistic. It's uh, really practical. Like you cannot just start your own venture without having a backup, or without having a safety net.
Yeah, definitely.
you're taking any independent work or any independent dream on your hand, and you're putting your time in it. You have to have some balance, kind of a way to get out of it, get stuck. That happens a lot in the startup world. That
Yeah,
no
this
one comes to.
yeah, in fact in startup as well. Like, if we talk about some weird examples as well, like I'll start from a very weird example. If we take TikTok, right? There, when this TikTok boom came up, so there was special niche of population which went to TikTok, right? This
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the lower class or lower middle class, right? The people, you understand what I mean, right? And then some of them they started earning pretty well using TikTok
yeah.
only.
Who had the first smartphone? Who first got their
Yeah,
Geo? You know.
yeah. So some of these, TikTok creators, I read about them in detail, right? Yeah, don't ask me why did I read about them, but this is something that I do. I pick up random things and
Okay,
I read about them.
go on,
So
go on. Share with
it's an
us.
interesting story that when this TikTok thing came to India, a lot of people they became famous on TikTok. And when they became famous, and you know what, how the TikTok thing works. If you are viral, you get a lot of views and all of that, right, on TikTok. And they got a lot of ad revenue and started promoting products from TikTok, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
the thing to understand is that uh, people who are like college grads, most of them, they did not use TikTok, right? TikTok was actually used by people in these tier 3 cities, small cities, or maybe the people who are
yeah,
just
yeah.
looking
You're
forward to
just.
having some like time pass on phone, right? All of that.
Yep.
So the content which was made was only suitable to them, right? Someone dancing on some old Hindi song and all of that.
Yeah, yeah.
The fact we found it cringe was just for cringe for us, but not for them. They found it entertaining, and that is why it was right. But then I think the government they banned TikTok, right? Now what happened that these people who were earning a lot from TikTok and they got some nice KTMs and iPhones on EMI, right? Which they would not have been able to afford. So I was reading of this guy whose father was an e-rickshaw driver, but he had I think 2.5 lakh KTM and a 50,000 phone, everything on EMI because he was getting nice cash from TikTok monthly. But then out of nowhere, this TikTok got cancer and just banned in India. So then they moved to Instagram because so the article called them as digital nomads who didn't have a place, digital homeless people who lost their platform and lost their audience. Now, once they came to Instagram had like audience like us, like right when Reels was, I guess I'm not sure if Reels was present or not that, but yeah,
Yeah, that's when the reels started coming up.
yeah, exactly. So but the Reels which came on Instagram, which the Instagram users were making, was a bit like upper class, right? They were making reels on maybe some issues which only upper middle class or upper middle class people face. Like for example, if I'm in a supermarket, I'm studying. I mean, I'm standing in a queue and I'm waiting for my mom, and my turn is about to come, right? And I'm feeling anxious, and we make a TikTok, sorry, reel, and all of us we find it relatable and funny, right? But then these TikTok people came, they made their own reels about things what they find relatable, right? How to message a girl and all of that, right? All of the things which we find it funny. There is one guy called Shubham and all of that, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
but then their audience went by because all of us we started trolling them and all of that. They didn't get the response which they wanted. And yeah, this made them like a bit. They still do not. I think a lot of them they do not understand what the issue is. Now both these audience are on Instagram, and both of them they have their own uh, content preferences. But these Twitter, sorry, these TikTok guys, they actually lost a lot of their audience.
Mm-hmm. And that's what kind of uh, disadvantage of having a regime is you expect them to kind of take care of you. You thought that you might just, switch to Instagram and things might work out, but it didn't work. And yeah, this is what a difference, another difference. Well, if the same TikTokers were in any Western nation or even consider China or Europe, they might have survived. But on Instagram, the how people, an Indian, young Indian judges everyone, um, it didn't make it through on Instagram.
Yep, exactly. And another thing was a bit of a classism from our side as well, is that we don't understand that the thing which they make TikToks about is what they find relatable to them. What we make TikTok or we make reels, air quote, is the things which we find relatable to us. They might have not experienced those things in real life. The majority of these TikTok people are
Mm,
not from very good financially stable families. You know what I mean?
yeah, 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 and that is why it is important to have some kind of entertainment. Because this is where a kind of very unique art forms emerge. Songs, lyrics, stories, which have to be which have to be shared.
Yeah, I mean, now the content which you are consuming is actually subjective. What is good, what is bad, what is cringe. The cringe definition of cringe is also subjective to me, to be honest. For example, if we call TikTok as cringe right now, and if I'll also ask you, YouTube Raju Srivastav joke, listen it to now, you'll call it cringe, right? Listen some Tarak Mehta joke, you'll call it cringe. But go back 10 years, you'll be listening to that, you'll be laughing like anything, right? Tarak Mehta joke or maybe Raju
Oh,
Srivastav.
they still
Kapil
make me
Sharma
laugh.
show. I
They
used to
still
find
make
it
me laugh.
so fucking funny.
They're still funny to me sometimes. Okay, they are still funny.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I mean that it is subjective. I might not be, our preferences changes. Uh, what 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 they are trying to say and what we actually are being also changes. So yeah,
Yeah,
what we might
it's
like,
like a preference.
yes, definitely. And I think I to be more rational, we need to, as I said, that explore the other side as well, right? I tried to explore that TikTok side and I want to understand that okay, this is what rickshaw wala if he is like I mean came back from whole like 6 hour driving a rickshaw, opens his smartphone, he likes people dancing on some steps. He finds happiness in that. Let that right. This is something which is bringing happiness to that. He won't
Yeah,
find
and
he won't find
another
art
thing.
content funny.
Yeah, another thing which TikTok kind made possible, which Facebook or Instagram or any other social media didn't try, was letting people just watch the content without letting them touch the screen. Like they give them like, comment, and all these options, but they never thought of just letting the videos play. They'll just, if they want to interact, they will, but instead just let the video flow.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you think about it, I think you exactly came to my point that if a rickshawala is watching that TikTok, right, he probably would not like to comment, like it, do any interaction. Probably he doesn't even cannot even read what is written on the screen. But I think the only
He does
navigation is
not
one.
care. Bro, he does not
Yeah,
care. He does not
yeah,
have money. He's waiting for customers. He doesn't have like lunch. He does not care. He just wants to time pass.
yeah, exactly. In fact, all of us are do want to time pass when we also watch memes, right? There is no any other motive in that. So what I'm trying to do is that relating what we do on maybe Facebook when I'm scrolling through memes or shit posting and keeping it parallel rickshawala when he's watching a TikTok, right? For me, I am also having some dopamine when someone is like clicking on that I post and watching a meme and have just like having an escape from life, right? Then that rickshaw was watching some nice couple doing something on some old Bollywood number. He's also like having a getaway from life for those 2 seconds. And
Yeah. For those 2 minutes or for that
yeah,
hour
yeah,
in that afternoon in that
yeah,
rickshaw and this empty,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
daydreaming, and bro,
yeah,
that worked for him.
yeah, and he's like happy. And then that is why they added this feature that the TikTok it moves automatically to the next one. I have not used it, but you said that you told me that it moves to the next video
It moves to
automatically.
next without even interaction.
Okay. Yeah, so this is why this is why would have they made it like this? That you know what, you also have
It came.
a minute curiosity of what would be the next video now. This is why you just keep on doing that. I did one. I realized this one thing that I was on TikTok. Sorry, not TikTok. Instagram Reels, and I spent one fucking hour just going through that reel. Right, last last week. What was that reel trend? My back ache, my bra too tight. That one, right? And I didn't even know why I'm doing that. I was just watching that. I actually had to question myself why I'm doing all of this.
I think we let internet shape our opinions about humor, like what's funny, what's not. So, for example, if you follow dank meme pages, they be making fun of, like you said, the type of content that rickshawalas consume. They make fun of that and call it cringe.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
even if
I
we
also make fun
find,
of it.
yeah, but
Me
like
also.
even
I'm
if
also
we,
blaming myself.
oh, so even if we find it funny, we won't share it or like um tell our friends that we find it funny because they might make fun of us um that we're consuming cringe content. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this because again, if labeling starts, if it's TikTok, it will be cringe for us, right?
yeah, the popular opinion.
Exactly.
We forgot to talk about memes this podcast. Like, what are your favorite memes, Imran? What have you been those memes that you want to hide from everyone?
My memes, which I want to hide from everyone, are actually the ones which are not actually memes, are actually stupid videos. I think stupid Punjabi videos. Naveen is in the audience. He knows which videos I'm talking about. So we have some weird, simple Punjabi videos, like these TikTok videos, uh, and I find them funny, and I mean, just as a getaway to be that.
Okay. Just feel free to share in the comments or in the chat if you would like later on. We like
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Naveen will do that, I guess. I'll do that. I'll do that.
I feel comfortable. That's it. And yeah, they have been a thing for us. Like they really connect like nothing else, and it passes your message. And it's so clear.
Yeah, yeah. This is something. If I want to define a meme in a very structural manner, so meme has two parts. One is a context. Oh, sorry. One is something which is funny, which you already know, a hidden thing, and one is emotional trigger. Right. So there would be a template or a template which would have been picked from a movie or maybe a photo which has some context,
Yeah,
and then there is
it
one
has a context.
emotional trigger to that, right? So imagine let's make one meme in our imagination. So you know what, there is this one meme that there is one guy in the middle, two girls. So one, I think it is his girlfriend. He's ignoring that and looking at the other girl, right? The basic meme which we all know. You know what I'm talking about? That the guy is in the middle,
Yeah,
ignoring his girlfriend and looking at some other girl, and the last girl, his own girlfriend, is a bit like angry, right?
yeah,
So this is a context, right? You know what is happening here. Now there would be a feeling, or an emotion which I would want to trigger as a meme creator to you all. So let's label that guy as Modi and his girlfriend as uh, COVID wave and the other Southern or the hot girl in the street as maybe West Bengal rally, right? So this is
Section
triggering actually a, yeah, whatever that is, right? So this is actually triggering a emotion in you, which you would only understand if you know the context what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
This is how actually memes are also being used as political means of spreading political messages.
And the propaganda. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Propaganda in a term is also spreading your political ideas or political influence from one to another using any means, which can newspaper. Now it's 21st century, so these are means, right? Yeah,
Yes, and a fun way to connect with people, like things that some memes you might just post on some Facebook might find you an audience somewhere in a random place on the earth. It's just fascinating.
yeah, yeah. In fact, this we have this, as I said that in the starting, that we have a meme group called Churchy Fashion, which we all post memes about Punjabi culture, and
Ah,
it also we try to mean directly or indirectly some issues are raised, and people, as I said, that emotions are triggered, which can be about the farmer protest or maybe about people because a lot of Punjabi people are Sikhs, so people Sikhs cutting their hair, being cut short. So a lot of people they do indirectly or directly promote have a emotion, share that emotion, that and that message is spread across, right? Maybe some new Baba in our Punjabi culture, or maybe Christianity spreading in Punjab. We do all share that. Yeah, not
Oh,
directly,
I
but as a
remember
funny.
that video, that guy singing Hallelujah, or that bhajan something. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, yeah,
That
exactly.
was so funny.
So either you can do two things. You can create one long ass paragraph of how this shit is happening. Else you create a meme which takes up as like 2 seconds of your attention and just convey the same message in a very short term, right? So I think this is a very nice, and this is something which would be definitely used by political parties as well in future to spread what they want to spread. Right? It has already been started using by maybe Mumbai police, Delhi police memes, Aam Aadmi Party as well. I'm not sure if BJP is, Congress is using it, but they with the one picture they can convey like 500 words. Yeah,
And due to the popular meme culture, they go viral as well. Rather than the paragraphs that they would write, the memes go viral.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
yeah, really easy to connect with your audience with just a picture without typing a bunch of stuff or sending out handouts and all kinds of other business trickery. You can just post a meme somewhere and people will easily connect with what your idea is, what your agenda is.
Yeah, and if you think about it, if they read an article, they're just reading some facts, right? They're not getting something out of it. So now these media houses or news channels, they're trying to make things fun for the Gen Z or maybe us who don't have a lot of attention span, right? We want to have something out of that content, be it if it is funny, sad, or triggering, or
Hmm.
just make us feel anything.
Yeah, yeah, and this Gen Z era has also led to a very, very, very niche kind of content that has been growing on web series, has been booming in this pandemic, and in the last 2 years, it just shot up on Netflix, on Z5, and on other web platforms, Sony Live.
yeah, I think this was something which was was actually a matter of when, if you ask me. And the pandemic just triggered that was people were at their home. They need to do some time pass. It triggered that, and now people are actually preferring watching these web series on these OTT platforms. Then on the side, each platform has their own niche audience. In Netflix, you would find content more for the educated middle class or upper middle class. Wherein if you move down to our own Indian OTT platforms, the cheaper ones, you might find something almost something which might be related to pornography or some basic stupid content. So yeah, can be like that. Again, demand. It's all about demand and supply, like that only. And if you also think about this to add on to this, you also find so each of these OTT platform they have their own niche audience, right? Each audience they have their own preferences, political inclinations, and all of that. So, for example, if I talk about Netflix, we find that most of these shows, be it Western shows or Indian shows, are actually more left leaning. They bring up LGBTQ openly, anti-authoritarianism openly, all of that which we encounter actually, right? So yeah, these are a very nice way to portray art in the form and convey the messages alongside.
Hmm. Uh, Going into a web series, it's for any artist, uh, or if you're what do you call, if you're growing on like the budget comes from having a proper TV compared to web series. There are really different challenges.
I personally think that you can do that. I mean, you start doing that on YouTube for free, and someone would sponsor that. There is one of my friend who specializes in having no budget films, which means that he picks up $5,000, hires three actors, and creates one 5 episode web series. Now that was bought by Airtel. He only spent $5,000 on that. All the actors were voluntarily. Now he's getting paid for that. It depends on if you want to do that or not. But again, for like the ones which are bigger in scale, there is a lot of production team involved in all of that thing.
Yeah, like if you have a bigger budget, you can do a lot of things. You can get all the sets, do that whole thing,
Yeah, yeah,
make your Lord of the Rings possible.
yeah. That sort of that thing. There is one of my friend who's in Mumbai, is in creative industry. He tells me that Netflix just gives out one idea that we want to make one TV show on politics, and we have this budget, and then a lot of creative team reach out to them for ideas and all of that, and then they have to create that,
Yeah,
and
that is
the
an
budget is
advantage
already there.
Netflix has because being in the forefront of all this business, they just have to say that they are looking and this is the budget. People will come look forward. But it's not the same for other platforms or in any upcoming platforms like Hulu or something.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yes, and yeah, these platforms really grew, and now it's become a household thing. Like people are trying to ditch the TV and just go all OTT, which also makes government start to look in it, and now we have a law on that. They have to pass a special regulation for any show to be aired in the TV, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, because I said that now these OTT platforms were expressing dissent, were expressing what actual person feel in the form of movies or web series, which they were not able to on TV. TV daily soaps were like Saspo and all of that, that all shit. So that was the platform, the cable TV was limiting the thinking of the general public to only those things. Movies were also approved by the censor board before they were launched as Bollywood movies. Now, with OTT platforms, all they used to have complete, what, freedom to express whatever they want. So there was now the government. This is what most people do not like about government is that it makes laws. It is pretty quick on like blocking dissent by any form of media. So they used uh, pornography as a curtain to make sure that dissent is not launched. Dissent is not portrayed. About there is one TV show who talks about Hinduism, Hindu propaganda being spread in India. That would not be able to be released, or maybe could be released in some sort of loopholes. But just creating a blockade for the creators, one more problem for them to discourage them. This is what the government is doing.
And yeah, there are ways to stop this from growing, but just doing this law makes it easy. It's a little difficult, but no, there are ways. Just provide some things will be.
Yep. That is how they would have to do now because everyone they have their Netflix subscription, Amazon Prime subscription. This is the place where they would be uh,
Yeah.
loading that, right?
Any favorite TV shows if you're into that? Movies?
My favorite TV show is, I guess, Game of Thrones. And in the terms of light-hearted comedy, I like there is one Canadian TV show called Trailer Park Boys. It's like The Office with the cameras and all of that, right? Also watch sometimes The Office as well. So yeah. But in terms of story,
Nice.
I guess that thing, this Game of Thrones is, I'm a big fan of that.
Really fun.
Yeah. For movies, I like this one movie about slavery. Title is 12 Years a Slave. If you have uh, watched it, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a really popular film. Oscar.
Yeah, so that is my favorite one for movies.
Cool. Uh, what else I have up with you? What are you doing in 2020?
Um, if if this COVID thing would not happen, I would definitely have traveled a lot because now have the option to work from home anywhere with my laptop. So in January as well, I went to there is this village near Manali called Shoja, just about GB. We booked a couple of my friends. We booked a hostel there and we stayed there for like a week. Did nothing, just worked and sunbath in mountains. Yeah,
Sounds really fun to do.
and this is something which I was also looking forward to in May, June. In July, I was planning to trek Everest Base Camp as a trek, but I'm not sure if I can do that now. All the COVID restrictions and all that.
You sound really advanced.
Yeah, but fingers crossed if that will be possible.
Yeah, I hope you make that happen this coming months or next.
Yeah, next year. So next year would be for sure if this did not happen because now I just turned 24 this February. I'm having almost having those quarter life crises that I only have 6 years to live
Yeah, yeah.
without any responsibilities. After that, the life will be over. So there was this meme. Uh, there was this meme yesterday with my friend saying that guys be like, I have replaced guys by some other word by guys, but yeah, you understand. Guys be like, I want to change myself, but I've already been 30, so your life is over, man. So like that, right? That hit me a lot.
Yeah, yeah. That is what happens, right? Emotional triggers.
Exactly, yeah. COVID as well, I have realized a lot of people have died. I know who have died, who have a lot of money. Still, everything remained over here itself, right?
So, did you look for that bucket list soon?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, for example, I am now open to things, very open to things which I have not tried, which kind of scare me. I'm like, let's do it. But worse could have happened, right? Because I think this COVID thing, I was realizing that the only certain thing is actually death. That is the only thing certain. Everyone would die eventually. You have to try new things, explore yourself. That before dying, I have explored myself, which as I can.
So that's really cool that this new thing opened up to you in this strange times.
I'm just checking that it's already 11 p.m. I didn't even realize that
Yeah,
we were talking for this so long.
this is this is
That's
how
nice.
start to close up. Any final thoughts you have for us?
No one. Just thank you for all of you for having me on over here. And it was pretty nice having this conversation.
Yeah,
In
open to
fact, we can have more of these, not exactly not in the form of podcast, but any random, like we can just chat talking about random things.
We have those sometimes random discussions on random topics.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
We do have
If
this.
I ask you, yeah, I'll love to join that definitely. And if I ask you, how was your experience? I mean, how did you like this conversation?
Uh, compared to others, it really so. Yeah, it was enjoyed it. Not so
Okay, I didn't know that. I will probably apologize. I think you can like edit that afterwards.
much. It's been nice. This has been long. Simran for just good. See how it goes.
Yep. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Good
Goodbye.
night.